How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to my channel. So tonight I want to talk about something that's a kind of a sort of a rant video in some ways, but not really a rant video. But I kind of wonder, people that actually buy box sets, movies and box sets, I wonder how often they actually watch them. Because I think this might be, I might be alone in this in a lot of ways. And you can let me know in the comments if you kind of disagree with this. But I noticed that when I buy movies and box sets they kind of sit on the shelf, and I don't really watch them very often. And they're great movies. For whatever reason, it just seems like sort of like a hassle in some ways to pull them off the shelf and then open them up and take movies out and actually watch them. It seems like that, but I've got quite a few box sets. So to me, it makes a lot of sense to buy movies and box sets because you can get so many movies in one package, and it's usually really compact, and they don't take up as much room on your shelf a lot of times. But so it's a lot cheaper to buy them that way. And it makes sense, if you're going to get one movie, you might as well get several of them. But I use one example. I'm a huge James Bond fan, and I remember 1979, my dad took me to see Moonraker when I was 6 years old, and it kind of hooked me on being a fan of James Bond. That was obviously Roger Moore. A lot of people had already become huge fans of James Bond with the Sean Connery era, but. So I've got this box set here. It's the 50th anniversary of James Bond. It's got some great movies in it. It actually has 22 titles in it, and here it actually in the back it actually has a spot for 2012, which was Skyfall, which I really enjoy that movie from Daniel Craig, and it gives you like a slot here where you can put it in there, And I ended up buying a Skyfall separately, and then it's just got a slot where you can put Skyfall in there from 2012, but it's got this box set in particular. It has all the years laid out here, so it's everything you want. And I remember when I used to have a lot of the James Bond movies in the DVD box set, and I used to watch those a lot more. And it seems like if the box set is kind of open a lot of ways, where you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see I don't know if you can see Friday the 13th back here, but it's where I have it open, where you can actually kind of pull each disc out of the packaging, and it seems like I'll watch movies a lot more that way than if they're in a compact box like this, where you have to this one comes with two. It comes into this box here. There's like two sleeves of these movies. And it seems like, to me, it seems like a lot more work to do that. So that's what makes me wonder, like, if these movies were individually wrapped on the shelf, like a lot of these are, would I watch them a lot more if they were kind of easy to pick off the shelf and just get one case and just open it up and throw it into the Blu-ray player or 4K player and kind of enjoy it that way. And so I wonder if it does kind of take away some of the fun and enjoyment of watching movies if you have to go through that extra effort to do that. There's like some great ones here. Bruce Lee. I was really excited when this was released from Criterion because I remember like the year before this, or year or two before this, I was looking at online and looking at all the individual movies. I think there's like technically 5 in here. Enter the Dragon was a part of Warner Brothers and not even part of the actual a lot of the other movies that were in. I think before I don't know if there's a box set or not, but you can get like 4 movies, but Enter the Dragon you had to buy separately. And then when Criterion announced this, where they're releasing all 5 movies and especially some bonus stuff in it, I thought, wow, I really got to watch this. I love the way they look, but you kind of have to pull it out of the sleeve and open it up in a lot of ways and pull each disc off. And it seems like when you first buy these movies, they're a lot of fun to go to the box set and watch all of them. But then after that, they just kind of sit there. They don't get used. I wonder if other people feel that way necessarily. Like the Superman here. Especially love the first 2 Superman movies, and this one comes with like 6 movies altogether. Got to pull that out of there, and got to do all this. Open it up. Seems like a lot of work, and it's like a lot of times it's like I just want to. I usually kind of pull a lot of the movies off the shelf that are just easy to pick out there. Like Indiana Jones. I love especially the first 3 Indiana Jones movies. Love those. Jurassic Park. Especially the first two Jurassic Park movies, I really love. The third one's really good too, and then you've got the newer trilogy as well, which I love. Jurassic World I really liked. The other two not so much, but Rocky, you get 6 movies in this. How often do I watch the Rocky movies now? They're great movies, but if they were individually, if you can buy each movie together, it would take up more room on the shelf. But I'd probably watch them a lot more if they were available that way. Batman, the original, Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher's movie, the Batman and Robin's not very good, and Batman Forever is kind of hit or miss all the ways. I like Val Kilmer as Batman, but obviously the Michael Keaton, the first two are the ones that you watch the most. Star Wars. I'm not a huge fan of the special editions necessarily. And this has like the prequels and the episodes 4, 5, and 6, and that I hardly ever watch this. Would I ever get rid of these movies? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't get rid of them. That's for sure. You got the Star Trek Next Generation. First Contact, probably my favorite out of this. The other 3, not as much. First Contact, I think, is one of the best Star Trek movies ever. I also have the other Star Trek, the original cast. Love these. I haven't watched these in a long time. I know a lot of these have been released on 4K recently, and I'm sure a lot of people bought a lot of those, especially the original Star Trek movie where I think it was like a director's cut or something like that. And I think a lot of people were really excited about that when it was first released on 4K. And obviously, one of the big ones, when I was a kid, I used to watch the Batman TV show, the 1966 Adam West series. Watched that, and when I bought this originally, I watched all these, and I haven't watched them since. And I'm definitely not getting rid of it. But like I said, but it just seems like it takes away from the enjoyment to kind of pull that out of there, and got to go through the effort to get it out of the box set to watch these. So a lot of times these just it actually sits on top of this bookshelf up here with the James Bond one, and they just kind of sit there. So for me, is it taking away from my enjoyment in some ways by having them in a box set? It kind of does in some ways, but I'm sure I've got so many movies. That's probably a big part of the problem. And it's a nice problem to have, but it's probably kind of part of the problem, having so many movies that the ones that take a lot of effort to get out and put into the Blu-ray player or 4K player seem to be the ones that I won't watch as often, just because of that extra effort I have to go through to get those out and watch them. But like I said, I'd really like to hear some comments from people and let me know. Maybe you love box sets. Maybe you get box sets out like TV shows. I'm sure a lot of people love those. I have the Game of Thrones. Each season, I don't know if those are technically box sets necessarily, but you get several episodes on several different, like 6 or 7 discs. And I remember when that show was on HBO, I would watch those like before every new season. I would get the previous season out and watch all the episodes and kind of get ready, because that show was there's so much exposition, so many things going on, a lot of things you just forget about, over the summer, while that show was in hiatus, before the next season started, you kind of forget a lot of things. So you definitely want to get those out and kind of watch them, watch the previous season anyway, to kind of remember what's going to happen in the new season. And that was a great show to do that with. And so I wonder if anybody else out there are big Game of Thrones fans. I know season 8 would kind of turn a lot of people off, but I think episode 803 of that season, I think, was one of the best I'd ever seen of the series. And then they had nothing to go with the previous. The final 3 episodes were kind of a letdown in some ways, because that third episode was so great in that series. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, I'd really enjoy kind of communicating with people, letting me know if they've gone out and maybe bought the movies like on 4K individually, and maybe they enjoy those more than they did when they were in box sets. So yeah, please let me know, everybody. This is kind of just a fun video. It's, like I said, it's not really a rant video necessarily. It's just kind of a concern, like, does it really take away from my enjoyment of these movies? So, but please, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. Please put a thumbs up in this video. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great one. Thank you. Bye.